I play multiplayer games where sound can be very important because you'll have to hear your teammates very good, and sometimes your teammates have very bad microphones. It's pretty hard to hear them. So, and their color is very funny.
Very distinctive.
Yeah, those are distinctive. Those are outstanding headphones. Outstanding headphones. What Russian word would you use to describe those headphones?
Well, I can't say for sure today because I've been using them only for maybe 1 week.
Okay.
So I'll see it after maybe half a year if they won't, if they still work the same and they're still good and didn't break like my.
Okay.
Like
all right. Well, I think we're drifting. So far, we have surplus and researchers for our words. What else do we have?
We're asking everybody, if you've just joined, to go ahead and put one word in from the video you prepared today that you found particularly interesting or thematic or difficult.
Julia, did you find a word?
Yes.
And what is your word?
Excuse me.
Would you type it in the chat box, please?
What right in chat?
So one word from the video that you prepared for today that you found particularly interesting or perhaps thematic.
What about my day? My today?
About the video.
About the video assignment that we that you got.
Video. I don't. I read about this question, and I see. I know the topic of our lesson, but I don't see video assignment.
It was in your email sent to you by Professor Shestakov. And it was a video entitled Crazy Busy.
Crazy Busy. Dima, did you select a word? Olga, Andrei, Mikhail?
We are at 9:35. Should we go ahead and start with several of the words?
I have put the URL for that short video in the chat box so that there's no confusion about what we expected you to do. And so now, yes, I think we should try and talk about it in some way or another and the other materials that we have prepared.
I might start, Professor Marston, with the title of the video.
Yes.
I have noticed that frequently when you ask Americans how they are, so I will see Professor Marston on the street and say, "How are you today?" And in a language textbook, the answer is always, I'm very well, how are you? But in reality, Americans frequently say, oh, I'm very well, I'm very busy. And this busyness, at least in the American context, is sometimes seen as a good thing, right? Your life is better if you are busy. So I thought we would start with that. Busyness, being busy, because that will lead us to this concept of time. Let's start off. I saw Sasha there. Sasha, if I asked you to describe your schedule for today, how would you describe it? Are you a busy person?
Actually, no. Today was not busy. I had only two pairs in the university. I mean, 2 lessons, and I returned home. I think at about 2 p.m. and then I had dinner and I had lunch and went to sleep because I'm very sleepy for I think 2 or even 3 weeks. So I woke up at 7 p.m. and for 2 hours I have done some things. I don't remember. I don't remember. Like I did nothing, and then I went to America Today.
That sounded pretty busy to me till I heard about your nap. That's a nice perk, we would say, right? A nice advantage.
No, it's not very nice because it doesn't help me. Because I'm very sleepy during the classes and it's very bad, even though I sleep pretty enough. I don't know why. Strange.
We'll come back to your nap in a few seconds. Who else has a microphone? Olga, can you tell me a little bit about your day? How busy were you today?
Oh, I came home about 15 minutes ago, and I was working all day long. It was a lot to do. It was a lot to do. A lot of people came to me, and it was a lot of busy.
Remind me again what kind of work you do.
I'm a lawyer at the clinic.
So many people come to you for lawyer advice, lawyerly advice.
I'm making employer's documents with people.
Employment documents?
Yes.
And do you have a schedule at work that's very full? So maybe somebody comes at 10 and somebody comes at 11 and somebody comes at 12. Is your schedule at work very full?
They they look like groups. One group at one time, one group in this time, and then I need to check all documents, and then I have to make a big complex.
A big folder or file?
Yes, and then I need to write it to the head company. We will check it, and then I come to my job place, my workplace, and do it and next time, next group.
With the next group, do it all over again, we would say.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Did I see, Misha, do you have a microphone? Would you like to join us and tell us about your day today?
Меня слышно?
Слышно, yes.
So tell us about your day today. Were you busy?
I worked during the day, then studied evening, but I only had time to read the following links.
So the reading links about time, right?
Yes.
And would you say you had a busy day?
Я не смотрел, I'm not look. I'm not understand.
We're thinking about this word busy. Were you busy all day? Were you engaged every minute?
Yes, I'm busy. The day.
During the day.
I'm lawyer. Not big. No, маленькая, little company.
Working for a small company.
Little company.
Now I saw you, Misha, looking up the word busy. What would be a good Russian word to describe someone who is busy? Misha.
Please repeat.
What would be a good Russian word? How would we translate the word busy?
Хорошая работа.
Занятой.
Whose voice was that? Was that Olga?
Занято. Busy. Занят.
Zanят, yeah. Yeah,
no,
very nice.
Many jobs.
Many tasks or jobs.
Yes.
Very nice. Let me ask, who else did we see here today? Andrei Dorofeyev, are you there?
Can you hear me?
We can. Good evening, Andrei.
Oh.
Now I want to ask you about this word zanят, busy, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a cultural question. If I saw you on the street and I said, how are you, right? Как дела, как жизнь? Would you ever answer, я занят? Is that an appropriate answer in Russian?
It's possible to answer я занят. Yes, I think it's possible.
Does it sound natural?
Yes, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
You said that this week. Excuse me.
Oh.
Have you said that this week?
Excuse me.
Have you said that? Have you used that expression? I'm real busy this week.
Mm-hmm.
Я занят, очень занят.
With this expression? Yes, it's possible to.
Possible. Mm-hmm. You know, this word занят, it means I'm busy. But it also has different meanings in Russian, because you can say a taxi is занят, or a seat in the theater at the место занято is the seat. So it doesn't mean busy, right? And the same way that занят has different meanings in Russian, busy has different meanings in English. Okay. Busy might be different from много дел. I mean, it could be, and sometimes busy is good. The line is busy. Busy as a bee Busy as a bee. Now that's good. The line is busy, you know, on the telephone. Busy as a bee. Busy as a bee. Busybody. 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 Busybody.
Professor Lira, I'm going to ask you about busy. We almost take pride in it, right?
Right.
If I ask you, are you busy this week? Or you ask me if I'm busy, and I say, nah, not so much. Maybe you're wondering what kind of job I have, right?
Maybe I'm wondering. Maybe I'd like a job like that, where I'm not too busy. I have a busy, and I think in America we like to think of ourselves as busy. Busy is good. Busy is good. Could we get together? Whoa, I'm not sure I have time this week. Let me look at I have to look at my calendar and and check to see. Busy is good. Busy is good. Is that true of all cultures? Do you think to be very busy? Is it busy?
Is a good thing? Is a goal? Dina, are you there? Do you have a microphone?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And good evening, Dina.
Good evening. Yes, I had a very busy day. I had some deals in court. In one deal I had in 9:30 a.m. and another deal at 10 o'clock a.m. and it was very difficult to participate in both cases.
You worked a very long day. You worked a lot of hours, right?
Yes, I try to work as much as possible.
And do you feel better or do you feel good when you're busy, Dima?
It depends on deals, what I do. So it depends on work, what I do. Sometimes I have a lot of interesting meetings with interesting people, and I feel good. But sometimes I must to do very boring work, and it's not good.
And Professor Lira asked a very interesting question. Do all cultures look at busyness the same way? What do you think, Dima? In the Russian context, is busyness a good thing? Or maybe it's just something that occurs? You don't take great pride in it.
Good or not? I think that it depends on situation when you say this. So if you, for example, communicate with businessmen, I think that it's good word. But if somebody asks you to help him and you will answer, I am busy, the person may understand that you don't want to communicate with him, you don't want to help to him. So it's
yeah, and we're talking to all of you as very busy lawyers. I keep forgetting.
For example, some of my friends often ask me to help to them, but I must work to help my clients, but I can help my friends when I have free time. But
yes, and Professor Marston has put a very interesting phrase in the chat box. You know, your plate is full. You reach a time where your schedule is so full you have to tell those friends I cannot help you now. I will help you later.
I think that in Russia we have another problem. I think that a lot of people don't know how much their time is cost and how much the time of another person is cost. So a lot of people think that to spend your time, it means that it doesn't cost nothing. It costs nothing for you, but it's not the right situation, I think. So I know that in United States, everything depends on hour. How much hour of work, for example, for lawyers, how much an hour costs. But in our country, I don't know lawyers who take money for hours, but not for real deals.
Yes,
So
we have that wonderful phrase in English for lawyers: billable hours. Hours where they can send you a bill.
Billable hours.
Yulia, do you want to tell us a little bit about how busy you are?
Yes, I can say that I am very busy today, and I'm very busy at all because I work as a lawyer in federal labor inspection, and my day has two parts. It is one part I speak with people, I to consulting people, and two part my day. It is to work with documents, and I go at home at 7 or 8 p.m. and then I to learn English, maybe at institute or online classes.
Sounds very busy to me. Not very much free time at all. You really didn't have any time to relax, really. Very, very free day. Professor Lero, do you want to jump in with?
I do want. Let's see. I put a little chart up on the whiteboard. It's called Matrix. Can you all see that? Everybody see Matrix? You'll see Matrix. You'll see that? Yes? Okay.
If you don't see it, you may want to look at the tabs across the top of your screen. I see Quick Start, Meeting Info, Clock, and Matrix.
Matrix, okay. These are, this is a chart of imagine that this is a chart of things that you have to do. Somebody said, I have a mnogo del, a lot of stuff to do, things to do. And not everything, not all the things are equal. And across the top, you have things that are urgent and not urgent. Okay, urgent and not urgent. Срочное дело, несрочное дело. And across the side, you have things that are important and not important. Важное, неважное. Urgent and not urgent, important and not important. And I think if you look at your day, the way you spend your time, you will find if you look at individual things that you spend your time on, that they will fit into one of these categories. Urgent and important, number 1, or not urgent and important, number 2. Urgent and not important, number 3. And not urgent and not important, number 4. Okay? Everybody understand the chart? Now, so as we talk about busyness, look at this chart and think of the things that you did today. Think of maybe 2 or 3 things that you did today, and put them in the right box. Put them in the right box. Put them in the right box, okay? Important, urgent, important, not urgent, not important, urgent, not important, not urgent, okay? Not important, not urgent. Everybody understand? Let's see, who have we not heard from? Andre? Let's see, you, Andre?
Yes.
So what do you think? What have you done today? Name 2 or 3 things specifically that you did today and put them in this box. Put them in the right place.
Okay. For example, I write some documents for the court. It's, I think, important, but not urgent.
Not urgent. Not urgent.
That's urgent. Yes.
Preparations, very nice.
Okay, planning. Good. Good. Preparation. And what else have you done? How about something that was not urgent and not important?
Not urgent and not important.
That wonderful phrase in number 4, busy work.
Busy work. Okay. I'm working up. Anything?
Let's jump to Sasha and ask him about his nap. Sasha, you had a...
Can you hear me?
Yes.
No, my microphone sometimes turns off. I manually turn it off, not in WebEx, because my keyboard is like, and you will hear it very much if I type something. So, and WebEx thinks that I don't have a microphone and turns it off, I don't know. So, all the things I did today are rather important and urgent, or not urgent and not important. So my nap was not urgent and was not important, but nevertheless I did it.
What about your nap?
What about your nap? Yeah.
I said that it's not urgent and not important, I think.
Well, not urgent, but was it important?
No.
Well, look at important. One of the things that's important and not urgent is recreation. Recreation, rest. Okay, kind of. And would you consider your nap as recreation?
I don't know. Well, I didn't think I needed it actually, because it's nothing good. I spent too much time.
Okay, all right.
Did you feel guilty about taking a nap during the day?
Yes, I did.
Ah. And was it actually during the work day?
Huh?
So, for example, if I came home during the work day and was not in my office and I took a nap and I knew that everyone at my office was busy, but I was home taking a nap, like you, I would feel a little guilty because they're all very busy, but I'm home taking a nap. But I agree with Professor Lero. I think your nap was important, right?
I think it's like an escape activity and time waste.
Escape activity. Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Sometimes when I have something very important that I need to do, I somehow cannot kind of muster the resources to do it, I will do other things instead. You know, if I need to write a letter to my bank, I need to write a letter to my bank, and I think, oh, maybe I'll wash the dishes first, or maybe I'll empty the waste baskets first. You know, so I kind of do stuff, busy work that's not important, that's not urgent, but it's keeping me. It's ways that I fill time so that I can avoid the other task. I can avoid the other task. All right, someone else. Let's hear from someone else. Yelena?
Yeah, we haven't heard from Lena.
Are you hearing me?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, now we hear you.
Good evening.
Good evening. Sorry, what I must say. This is simply to time. This is what routine for me. It's a very important part in my work, and it's a letter for my correspondents and clients, and for court and other clients. It's a very big part in my work, and it's important and urgent for me. But I understand that for someone is not important and is not very urgent, and it's specific for each one.
Mm-hmm.
And perception time is very different for other people, and not only other culture. And in Russia, have small talk as when you hurry, you can be funny, and поспешишь, людей насмешишь. And it's very accurate describe our people and our character, I think. And sometimes we must all thinking, and in our life, sometimes you didn't do it something, and spend of time it's did need this. You and it's good for you that you didn't this. And I think it's special character, special line in our character.
Very nice. So you were saying that Russians may savor or feel good about time when you do get to relax or not hurry. Is that a good summary, Elena?
I think our business with and взаимодействие, sorry, and when we have case some business with people from other culture, we must get to get some special characteristic too, and we must think about intersection time of our business partner, and a group of American scientists in one of article describes that for American and Morocco or Spanish have different perception, and American delete time on short time in 5 minutes, but Spanish and Morocco and other Mediterranean people
they had a different perception or a different idea, right?
Yes, for the 15 minutes, and when American people late on the 10 minutes, he late on the 2 psychology characteristics, but when other people later on 2 psychological characteristics, he late on the 30 minutes. But it's not it's culture. It's not sorry.
We would call those cultural differences.
Yes.
And sometimes
respect.
It's respect. Yeah.
Yes. It's not enough respect. It's normal. It's normal for these people because they perception time difficult.
And Elena, I think you've said a very important theme, that cultures may have different perceptions of time.
Yeah.
So if I make an appointment with Professor Lero, I'm going to come to your office hours and ask for some help.
Okay.
And you would like me to come at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, okay.
And it's 11:10. What do you think about me? I have not yet arrived. What do you think about me?
I think you're late.
I'm late.
You're late. If we agreed on 11, then I expect you there at 11.
And if I come at 11:25 and I don't apologize, what will you say to me?
I think that's I would accept your apology, but I'd say that's unacceptable. Don't ever do that again. Something like that. That I reserve this time for you, and I expect you to adhere to it. I expect you to adhere to it. Now we say, listen, students. We all of us are teachers, and if our class starts at 11, then be there at 11, and we say, well, what if, and there's an old kind of a old joke that says, well, if the teacher is a lecturer, let's see, if a teacher is a full professor, then you wait 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
And if an assistant professor, you wait 5 minutes. But if it's a lecturer, you don't wait at all. 1 minute after the students leave. Okay? Students leave. Now,
I'm going to have to run away in a moment, but I put a chart up here about time. If you look at the tab that says time. And this gets to the very important point that I think Lena was making, in that we can see some differences among cultures. And how we think about time and how we respect time might be very different. So maybe we could ask one of the Russians, and I'll start the conversation, then I must unfortunately go to an appointment with a fixed time. Who have we not heard from recently? Sergey, are you with us?
Hear me?
Sergey, tell me how punctual you are. If you and I agreed to meet at 11 o'clock, what does that mean to you? Does that mean we meet right at 11?
Yeah, for me, it means I should go into 11, and we should meet in 11.
And would you say that's true of most Russians?
Yeah, for most Russians, yes, I agree with that. I think it's not so important for if Russian be late on 5 or 10 minutes.
Just in modern day life, it would not be, you would not think negatively of someone because they were a few minutes late.
Yeah.
There's an expression in English called fashionably late. Fashionably late. Fashionably late. And fashionably late means, you know, fashionably is like modno. Fashionably late means, well, you may not come exactly on time, but you might come a little late. And fashionably late is a word that's used by celebrities, and it means that well, when you're late, when you're a celebrity and you're late coming to a party or to an event, then people will notice you. They'll notice you simply because you're late. Now, Professor Smith has gone to his appointment. We're talking about being late. A lady could come to a social event a little late, 15 or 20 minutes. It's okay to come to a social event a little late in American culture, but not to a doctor's appointment or not to a lawyer's appointment. Many professionals in the United States will charge a fee if you're late. If I make a doctor's appointment and if I'm late more than a minute or 2 for that appointment, the doctor will still charge me for the appointment. All right. Now, I wish that professors could charge students for being late to appointments. All right. Who have we not heard from today? Yulia, Misha, Sergey, Professor Marston, let's see.
I'm back.
Okay, there you are. All right. Okay.
So we do have that. We in America do have those traditions. If you're a professional, not a teacher, but a doctor or a lawyer, an attorney, particularly an attorney, will charge you for the time that you had reserved. A doctor, if you don't come to your appointment, may charge you as though you had been seen by the doctor, as though you were there. So you pay for the time whether you're there or not. We take time very seriously. And if you come late to an appointment, people sometimes take offense. If I were giving a dinner party, for example, a formal dinner party, which I have done, and there were a dozen people being invited to this elegant dinner, and the first course happened to be a souffle. If you arrived after the souffle was done, the souffle would be flat, and I would be angry. Of course, it's much less stressful not to serve souffles. So looking at the time chart, there are two columns. One says sequential cultures and one says synchronic cultures. On the left, sequential cultures, that means doing things in a sequence would be more important than doing things at the same time. Synchronic means it's similar to synchronous. You do things all at once. And so, again, thinking about your day and the culture that you live in, which would you say is more important? Do you live in an atmosphere where the cultural environment involves sequential procedures or synchronic ones? So we have been talking about how Americans, in formal business situations at least, regard times as precise, and punctuality is valued. And that's the second item in the sequential cultures. Time is limited. My time is valuable. And time is a resource that needs to be efficiently used. This is certainly the culture which I grew up in. And I think that still continues. Time is money, people say. My father, I can still hear my father's voice saying, time is money. And so sometimes you might hear, hurry up, we only have 10 minutes to finish this. Or, if you don't hurry, you're going to miss the boat. And this means a boat being something that has a scheduled departure. That's an expression that we use to say that time goes, time rolls along. Whether you're catching a real boat that will leave you standing on the dock, not on the boat, or whether you have a metaphorical boat, then it still means you weren't fast enough. That opportunity is lost. Meeting deadlines is not only commended, but it is considered terrible to miss a deadline. When, in my family, my father was a newspaper publisher, and he had a number of papers that were published once a week. And so it was very important to meet that press deadline. Things had to be ready to be printed. Anything that happened after the press began to print would not get into the paper. So in the culture that I grew up in, this American culture, I would have to say that things are definitely sequential. So now then the other column is synchronic cultures. I believe now that a lot of people, younger people, tend to multitask, do things all at once.
It's true. It's true. In fact, I was thinking about this, watching television, and there are new iPhones out. The 5th generation of iPhones, and the 5th generation of iPhones. This is a 3rd generation iPhone. They say, oh, you can talk on the phone, and you can search the web, and you can check the weather, and you can all these different things all at the same, and make an airplane reservation all at the same time, multitasking. And that kind of multitasking is not culture specific, it's kind of technology specific. It's a characteristic of modern technology. Anyway, Professor Marston, technology encourages multitasking. And some people may think that's good, and some people may think that's bad. You know, when I was you notice that Professor Marston and I use the phrase often, when I was young, or when I was younger. You know, there was one telephone in the house, and if there was a phone call coming in, the phone would ring and you answered the phone. And if someone else wanted to call me at the time, they would get a signal on the phone that says Zanyat, the phone is busy. So to make another so you would have to call again. Well, now that's no longer an issue. The technology is such that if you're taking one call, you'll get a little signal that says you have another call waiting, and people will bounce back between different lines. And it's rare to get a busy signal. You don't get a busy signal anymore. You get a call waiting signal. You get a call waiting signal. It's a synchronic factor. Beep beep. Old folks are considered obsessive about time.
So
about time.
that expression, it's about time, has several different meanings. And Sasha, the YouTube thing I went to look at, and I thought it was fabulous. I wonder if you would post that URL for the YouTube thing again. And you don't need to go look at it now, but it's a fun thing to look at. And it has another, it demonstrates another meaning, it's on the subject of time, which is what this class today is about, but it means the time is almost, the deadline is almost here. We also say we're out of time. That means we've used it up. Now, we're out of time, you hear on talk shows sometimes. We're almost out of time, but I have one more question for you. In the 50 seconds that we have left, what do you think about the state of the world? That would be out of time. And we're almost out of time would actually apply to what to our present situation. Other meanings of, let's see, I wanted to hear what you thought is the time that you have. Do you think your experience with time is more sequential or synchronic? Who can say a few words about that? What do you think? And if you're not going to say a word, can you please at least write something in the chat about that? Misha, Yulia, Elena? Dima?
I think that we live in synchronic culture. And so I think that in Russia it's normal to do some things in at the same time. And I also often to do this. And I think that it's normal for us.
And so would you think, would you be uncomfortable if you were only doing one thing at a time?
One thing at a time. It's the right way to do only one thing at the time. So you will be concentrated at the problem as much as possible, and you will receive very good results. But I don't know why, but it's impossible in Russia.
I think it's impossible given our present way of living. And when I talked about sequential cultures, I skipped over that one because I think in this class, for example, we expect you to do more than one thing at a time. We expect you to listen, to contribute by talking or writing, to speak, listen, and write and read. That's more than one thing.
Yes, but it's we do only one thing, main thing. It's studying English, studying to we receive new knowledge. But for example, I think that it's my opinion. In modern time, we have such problem as mobile phone. So it's ringing every day, and you must tell with another people using the mobile phone and to do another deals.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I would like for us to talk more about this. how you use your time. And next week we're going to begin studying the American general elections, which this year include a presidential election and also a big fight for the control of Congress, both the Senate and the House of Representatives. We will be talking about that, and there's a lot happening before the election, which is just a little over a month away. It's important to know that voting has already begun. And so you will get something to read and or watch. You will make better use of this time if you can read or watch the piece that we ask you to do before you come to class. And I'm going to be asking you a question at the beginning of class next week. And that question is, what did you do today to prepare for class? It's about the art of practice. The art of practice involves something about what you do every day. The expression is, it's not what you do one day that counts. It's what you do every day. So you can see that in the chat if you wish. So we need to wrap up now. Does anyone have any last words?
I want to say one thing about connecting today's lesson to the elections. We have this. I live in Texas, and there is very little about the presidential electoral campaign in Texas. There are very few commercials on television, very few ads in the newspaper about the presidential election. And that's because the conclusion is that Texas will be Republican, will vote Republican. And we have this idea in the United States about swing states, that some states are very important for the election because the candidates don't know which way the states will vote, Republican or Democrat. Florida is one. Ohio is another. They're called swing states, that the vote swings back and forth. So if you think about sequential cultures and synchronic cultures, if you think about the matrix, about things that are important and things that are not important, that for the swing states, it's important. It's not important to advertise in Texas. It's not important to advertise in Texas. It's very important and very urgent to advertise in Florida. Okay. Do you see that? And same thing with the concept of time, that when we're talking about and the elections, everything having to do with the elections is urgent because there's a deadline, the second Tuesday in November, and whatever you're going to do must be done before then. Time is absolutely limited. We have 40 days before the election, and it's important. This time needs to be efficiently used, and carefully spent. Okay, the deadline for the election. So don't waste your time in Texas or in California or in Arizona, states who we know how to vote. But spend that time in the swing states. Okay, so swing states, that's an important concept. Look that up for next time. All right, look that up for next time. Okay.
And
Professor
yes,
Marston?
I know who Professor Shestakov has asked, do you know who you're going to vote for? And I certainly know who I'm going to vote for. Do you know, Joe?
I do indeed. I do indeed. I do indeed.
And we will talk about that because there are some very clearly drawn lines. And
let's see, Professor Marston is on and off. Let's see. Students, do we have any final thoughts from any of you about time, about busyness? About sequential and synchronic cultures? All right, no comments, anyone? Professor Shestakov, any parting comments?
I think it was just a very interesting discussion about time, and that the link that you made to the swing states. That's I think I need more time to think about it.
Okay.
Concerning the metrics and the time and swing states, so it's really interesting. I think I should read more about swing states.
The swing states, okay?
Yeah. So for the swing states, there are some things that for the campaigners, it's not so urgent, or is it urgent? It's not so urgent to go to swing states, right?
It's very urgent to go to the swing states.
It's very urgent.
It's
because it can swing any moment, right?
Right. Yeah, it can swing back and forth. And but to come to a state like Texas, where we know what the outcome is going to be, it's not urgent. It's not important.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Iowa is a swing state this year.
Interesting. Yeah, because Barack Obama started his campaign in Iowa in 2007. Yeah.
That's right. Okay, let's see. Professor Marston, I guess I've said everything I'm going to say today. Okay. Students, we thank you for your attention. I want to stress how important it is to prepare ahead of time for the class, to read the assignment and to get the assignment. When you sign on next time, we're going to talk about the art of practice. You should be prepared to speak about what you did to prepare for next week's class, and you should be prepared to speak about the concept of swing states. That'll be a good transition between this topic and the next topic, which is the elections. До свидания всем. Спасибо за внимание.
До свидания. Спасибо.
До свидания.
До свидания.
Okay, I am here. Joe, if you can stay a minute.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.